Did you know that if you don't have a virtual address for your company, then you can not only be missing out on a wide variety of important benefits for your LLC, but you also could be exposing yourself and your family to serious security risks.
Okay, wow, all right.
Guys, having a virtual address could be a lot more important than you might think. In today's video, I'm gonna make sure that you understand everything you need to know about virtual addresses for your LLC, because there is nothing that is more important than the security of your family. We'll cover what virtual addresses are, why they are needed for LLCs, what threats that can protect you from them, and how they work, how to get them, and exactly how they can benefit your business. Make sure you stay all the way until the end of this video, because certain business owners, if you don't have a virtual address, it could potentially expose you to risks that you really don't want to deal with. Trust me. Without further ado, let's dive in. So first things first, a virtual address is an actual physical address that you can use as a mailing address or a business address for your LLC without your business having to occupy that space. So in other words, a virtual address gives you the power to assign a physical address to your business, even if you run your business from a different location, such as your home or from your laptop on the go. Once you have a virtual address, you can use it as your business's official location on important forms, documents, and receive mail there as well. Now, if you get a virtual address, then for all intents and purposes, the virtual address becomes your business's address. Many business owners do not have actual offices. They don't have actual retail spaces or other business locations when they operate their companies or start them. In fact, majority of business owners run their entire businesses either from their homes or from their laptops. Home-based businesses have become more popular ever since COVID-19. And we understand that adapting to a home work-life environment was needed. But the rise of social media, e-commerce, business platforms, and other online business tools in the last 10 to 20 years has also led to more people working from home and starting online-based businesses. So for many people who run these types of businesses, when they go to set up their LLCs, they do not have actual business locations that are separate from where they live. And as a result, a lot of them will use their home addresses, and some will try to use PO boxes, which is not allowed, to try to set up their LLCs. Here's the threat of using these types of addresses. You see, the problem with using your home address as a principal office address is that it is public record. So this means that all of your customers and anyone else who wants to will be able to look up your private address for your residence. Let's think about how dangerous that is for a second. Have you ever had an angry or irate customer? Perhaps this could have been someone who wanted a refund that you wouldn't issue, or who was unhappy with your services and got offended by something your employees did or say. Or maybe you even had a disgruntled client or an unhappy supplier. You see, most business owners deal with angry customers or clients at some point, and sometimes when businesses are dealing with those angry customers wrong, an incredible amount of anger and rage can build up.
I am very angry with you right now.
Just think about the angriest customer or client that you've ever had. Would you want that person to know exactly where you live? Do you want it to be easy for that person to locate your house and come strolling into your backyard or right up to your doorstep? How do you think that situation would play out? Yeah, probably not that very well, right? So here is a list of just some of the things that could go wrong if angry customers or business contacts get your address and show up at your house. Number one, you could be harassed. This happens. You could be robbed, you could be assaulted, and your property could get damaged and you could be stalked. None of these things are pleasant, and none of these things are the reasons why you got into business in the first place, which is why I'm addressing them. These examples just show you how important proper security and privacy are. Virtual addresses prevent you from having to have your private residential address or public information as a part of your business records for all your business contacts and customers and the whole rest of the world to see. So getting a virtual address can help you to provide a key layer of protection and security that can be extremely valuable for keeping you and your family safe. That is why it's so important and so meaningful for me to make this video. I want you to understand how you're going to do this. Here's why you can't just use a PO box. You see, the problem with using a PO box for a business address is that a lot of states actually require your business to have a physical street address. And so they will not accept a PO box as a business address when you register your LLC. So if you try to use a PO box as an official business address for your LLC, there's a 100% good chance that you will be denied by your state government, depending on which state you live in. Also, many people think that having a PO box listed as an official address for your business seems kind of unprofessional and scammy. It's hard to deny that. So if your clients or customers share this option, then it could be bad for your business's professional reputation. Now, you might be wondering, which kind of businesses are virtual addresses ideal for? There are a wide variety of business owners that virtual addresses could be ideal solutions for. Some of these businesses include e-commerce, therapists, graphic designers, copywriters, video editors, YouTubers, actors and actresses, social media stars, gamers, streamers, content creators, consultants, online tutors. Guys, generally speaking, virtual addresses tend to work best for any business owner. I was just naming a few to hopefully, tickle your fancy. Virtual addresses are great for anybody. Guys, they're great for people who run their businesses out of their homes. They're great for digital nomads. They're great for people who just work from laptops. They're great for people who have storefronts. I just listed some of the main types of professionals who frequently fit into these categories, but there are many more. Now, can virtual addresses help you save money? That might be something you're thinking. Yes, virtual addresses can definitely help business owners to save money. Here's how. The reason why is because oftentimes business owners who do not really need to get an office end up getting one just so that their business can seem more professional and so that their state will accept their LLC registration. Unfortunately, this can result in them having to waste a lot of money renting out office space. It also requires them to have additional real estate to manage and have to deal with like a commute to work and going in. Commuting adds significant costs to your business, such as gas expenses and extra car repairs that can come as a result of you having to drive into work. So if you get a virtual address, it could prevent you from having to have all these extra expenses for running your business. And you will usually have to pay to get a virtual address, but virtual address fees are usually significantly less expensive than renting out an office space or transporting via a car every single day. So virtual addresses can definitely help you save a lot of money if you're someone who operates an LLC that does not need a physical brick and mortar location. Now let's jump into how do we get a virtual address. If you decided that you are ready to move forward with a virtual address for your LLC, then you can get a virtual address by purchasing one from a virtual address company. There are a number of different companies that offer this service, but the next thing that you will have to do is choose a virtual address location. Many virtual address providers have hundreds of even thousands of locations that you can choose from, and some have address locations at prestigious buildings in major cities. But having a great business address in a well-respected location can boost your company's reputation significantly. And many virtual address providers offer an array of extremely beneficial other services as well. For example, the virtual address companies sometimes will offer telephone answering services, live virtual receptionists, mail scanning and processing. They'll even do some small management. But some virtual address providers even have rooms that you can rent out periodically to schedule meetings with your clients. So this service can be extremely useful for your business if you need a place to hold meetings from time to time. When you're trying to choose a virtual address provider, you should first figure out which additional services you might need, and then look for a good virtual address company that offers all of those services that you need. How much does a virtual address really cost? You might be asking. The cost of these can vary significantly, but on average, I see them costing anywhere between $20 a month upwards to about $200 a month. It really just depends on what company you're going with. However, each additional service that you add on will most likely raise that monthly cost. So if you choose to get multiple additional services or multiple addresses with the premium addresses, the premium services with the telephone number in the office, yeah, it might be a little bit more expensive than for someone who's just getting the virtual address. So getting a virtual address can be a great investment for your business, and you can choose what you want to add on when you decide to go down that path. Now, what happens with the IRS? If you're establishing a virtual address, what happens with them? Will the IRS accept your virtual address? The answer is yes. The IRS will fully accept virtual addresses and consider them to be legitimate businesses. Many businesses with virtual addresses actually receive correspondence from the IRS directly at their virtual addresses. So as long as you set up your virtual address correctly and you purchase it through a legitimate source or company, you shouldn't have any problems when you go filing your tax returns or applying for your LLC. Now, when should you get the virtual address? Guys, the best time to get a virtual address is when you're starting your LLC. Before you even file the official paperwork to register your LLC, the reason why this is the case is because if you have your virtual address all set up, it's ready to go before you register your LLC, then guys, you will be able to use that virtual address and list it as the LLC's address, completely taking your information offline. It does not have your personal information appearing on the public record. So in other words, if you want to get a virtual address because you officially registered your LLC with your state, then it can maximize your privacy benefits. However, if you have already registered your LLC, then it's still possible to switch your addresses. All you have to do is just file an amendment to your certificate of your organization for your LLC, your articles of organization for your LLC. You will amend those documents and resubmit them, and then set up your virtual address and then resend those documents off to the Secretary of State. And you are approved, and you can start filing your tax returns with this new virtual address. It just might take some time for that to be reflected online. Now, as an LLC owner, you might want to apply for business credit at some point. So that way you can use your business to help you grow and fund your dream. If you have a virtual address, this can help increase your chances of getting approved for things like business credit cards and business loans. This is also another important reason why the virtual address is important. The reason why this is the case is because having a virtual address helps to make your business look significantly more professional and established to creditors. Professionalism is definitely something that many lenders take the time to actually look at when they're evaluating your credit application. Some lenders will not look at you favorably if your address is the same as your personal residence. They understand that you're just a sole proprietor business or someone just getting started. So having a virtual address for your business can help you reach this next level of professionalism and optimism. This is something that you would really want to strongly consider if you're a home-based business and you think you might want to apply for business credit somewhere in the future. Now, here are the steps to take after you get your virtual address. If you do decide to get a virtual address, there are a number of things that you should do immediately following the acquisition of the address. In addition to changing your LLC's formal address with your state, you will also need to make sure that you change your address information on all of your other key forms and documents. For example, you will need to change your business's address on your company's website, your social media accounts, your business bank accounts. You need to let everyone know. You need to let your credit card vendors know. It is crucial that your business address is consistent across all of these platforms, across all of these areas where your customers can interact with you. This is called doing your business's due diligence. So make sure you change your business address in all relevant places as soon as you get your virtual address. Now, I get asked this all the time, Karlton, are there any downsides for me having a virtual address? Is there? Getting a virtual address provides a wide variety of benefits to your business. However, there are some things about having a virtual address that some people might consider to be disadvantages. So we'll talk about it. For example, even though the costs are very low, some new businesses that are not generating revenue yet, this is a cost, okay? It can be a little bit uncomfortable having to constantly pay for things, right? Some people consider virtual addresses to be less convenient than home addresses. And this is because with home addresses, your mail comes to your home. I mean, geez, guys, if we can't go and pick up our mail from a virtual address PO box, like we really need to reevaluate being business owners. Putting up the effort to be a business owner is work in itself. The last thing I want to do is then turn around and screw myself over by, exposing myself because I didn't take the necessary steps to go and get a virtual address and then go to that virtual address location to pick up my mail. Or do mail forwarding. You can have your virtual address forward the mail to your physical address. But for some people, they just prefer to have all their business mail come straight to their home, and they do not care about the privacy and professional benefits of having a virtual address. And so I'm not going to fight them.
It's a really great feeling once you finally just give up.
Ultimately, you will have to decide what aspects of an address are most important to you and whether a business address or your home address is better depending on your situation. Are virtual address expenses tax deductible? The answer is yes. The expenses associated with setting up and maintaining your virtual address for your business is completely tax deductible. And this is because the IRS considers them to be both ordinary and necessary expenses, which makes them eligible for a tax deduction. Now, in other words, the IRS views them as completely justifiable business expenses, just as it might view purchasing laptops, office spaces, inventory. This is considered a justifiable business expense. And this is excellent news to all business owners, especially for those who have new businesses that are struggling to get off the ground. Because for these businesses, saving as much money as possible on your taxes is the most important thing. So writing off virtual addresses, which could be a small expense, couple $100s a year, is still beneficial to you as a new business owner. But what if you decide you want to close your virtual address? You see, sometimes business owners decide to shut down their virtual addresses. This could happen. This could be for a wide variety of reasons. Maybe you're not paying for it, or your company might have grown and now you have a real office, or you might just want to move on, right? Move on to a different virtual address company. Regardless of what the particular cause is for the desire to close the virtual address, you should still be aware that this is, of course, very possible to do. To close your virtual address, you just have to notify the company that you bought the address from, that you're shutting down that address and ending your subscription. Then, if you're going to keep that same business open, you will have to select a new address for your company. And this could be your home address, the location of your office space, or a different virtual address. Now, once you choose your new address, you're gonna have to go through the process to update all your records and files in order to make the changes official and to prevent any confusion at the IRS level. Now, we have reached the end of this video. Congratulations on making it this far. This was an important one, guys. Here are the key things that I want you to walk away from with this video regarding virtual addresses. Number one, I think you need them. A virtual address is a physical street address that you can get from your business for your business without your business actually having to occupy that space. Guys, virtual addresses can help businesses by making them seem more professional, protecting their privacy, and by keeping them safe from security threats associated with their home addresses being posted all over the internet. I have so many friends that have gone down the space of having to change all of their businesses to virtual addresses because they became YouTube stars overnight or TikTok stars overnight, and people were sending mail to their house. Like, that is so scary to get mail coming to your house randomly from people. I would just be terrified of that. And virtual addresses are extremely helpful for entrepreneurs. Like, if you're an entrepreneur, you're a freelancer, you're in the e-commerce space, you're a business owner, anyone who operates their business from home or on the go, virtual addresses are very beneficial and they're fully tax deductible. So those are the key points about virtual addresses that I wanted you to remember, guys. If you have any questions about virtual addresses, or if you have any tax questions in general, then feel free to get in touch with my team. You can do so by clicking on the links in the description below this video. You guys will also find a link to my tax alchemy course in the description as well. This course that I created to share with you is the absolute most advanced and best tax strategy saving course. And I really believe so. I am teaching you how to leverage tax strategies like the top 1%. And it really revolves around real estate. So feel free to check that out as well, guys. You can also book a call with my real estate tax team if you want to capitalize on the many benefits of real estate for tax purposes. Okay, that's all I got for today's video. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys all in the next one. Over and out. Cheers.